And while we've talked about teams like the Orlando Magic, Brooklyn Nets, and many more being potential trade partners for them, how about a team they've recently made a trade with, that being the Utah Jazz? Well, according to a new report from Sarah Todd of Deseret News, they might be. Not only for their team, but potentially for any team monitoring the trade market, as they could be pretty much having an open fire sale. Having guys like Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, and maybe even longtime Lakers trade target Walker Kessler available on the trade market. So we'll talk about that, what a trade could look like with their team, and how the Lakers might be able to benefit. On to Walker Kessler, the main Laker trade target, the guy that many Laker fans want and have been talking about for over a year now, even probably close to 2. Many Laker fans want him, but it would be difficult to trade for him. I mean, cue the SpongeBob meme of how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? The Lakers have repeatedly tried to trade for him according to reports, likely have offered the same trade package or varying levels of the same trade package, and the Utah Jazz have really never showed interest. So with that in mind here, I'm not sure why they would right now all of a sudden, why they would randomly take the trade package that the Lakers have likely already offered to them. Some combination of Dalton Connect, their 2031 first round draft pick, maybe removing the protection on the 2027 pick they already owe them, which they currently have protected 1 through 4, take that off of it and maybe that would offer some value. But again, they've likely offered that already. And if they hadn't, then they're probably not going to be willing to offer it. If they think that's too much, which you definitely can't argue. Again, Walker Kessler did man the 3rd worst NBA defense in NBA history last season. Although is very talented, isn't the perfect player by any means. Yes, obviously he's a good defender, despite being part of the 3rd worst NBA defense in NBA history, is only 23 and likely is still getting better yet, but he does have shortcomings too. Number 1 being offense and simply being fairly limited on offense, apart from being a lob threat and dump off guy around the rim, which is kind of all they need for a center offensively, I guess, but he really isn't a good offensive player, doesn't have great touch, isn't a great finisher around the rim apart from dump offs and lobs, isn't a 3-point shooting floor spacer, doesn't really have a mid-range touch or really anything with his offensive bag that stands out. Then defensively, although yes is a very good rim protector, is somewhat switchable, isn't the most mobile big in the world, can be taken advantage of in some matchups, and although some kind of talk about him like a defensive player of the year candidate, I wouldn't quite put him at that level. I mean, don't get me wrong, very good rim protector, and with him only being 23, he might be able to get to that elite level eventually, but he's not quite there yet in my opinion. And if you ask me, the best part about his game is actually his rebounding, not his defense. He is actually an elite rebounder, averaging 12.2 rebounds per game last season, including a league-high 4.5 offensive rebounds per game. That's very impressive, and the Lakers definitely could use that. So that's actually what I like about him the most, not his defense. And going back to a trade for him, I would offer the same trade package that they likely already have, but I don't expect the Utah Jazz to take it. Offering them something like Dalton Connect, that 2031 first round draft pick, make it completely unprotected, I don't care, removing that 1 through 4 protection on their 2027 pick they already owe them, and simply offering that, but again, I don't think that's enough. They want something like 2 to 3 first round draft picks according to reports, a young asset with that, and the Lakers simply don't have that to offer, and I'm not sure I would even cave into that price if I had it too. Again, very talented player, but are you really willing to give up their best young trade asset, 2 to 3 first round draft picks with that trade asset even if they had it, for Walker Kessler? I mean, some people might, but I wouldn't quite pay that much for him, and I'm not sure any team ever will, as no team has traded for him. And well, I think the only way to make a trade work for Walker Kessler at this point would be to add additional players and likely additional teams to the trade to give the Utah Jazz what they want. Again, the Lakers have already offered the same trade package or likely some variation of it, and the Utah Jazz have not listened to it and have not really liked it. So maybe adding additional players and additional teams to it would give them what they want and might be able to make the trade happen. And well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to come up with some wacky 3, 4, 5 team trade that likely won't happen and something we can't predict. I mean, you can do that if you want to on your own, but I'm not going to waste my time with it. Could Walker Kessler be a trade target for them? Maybe. Likely not with the same trade package they have already offered, but if they try to make it complicated and add more players and teams to it, then maybe. But overall here, would the Utah Jazz be a good team to trade with? I mean, kind of. If they're willing to trade Walker Kessler, if they're willing to trade John Collins for a good price, then maybe. But I don't really have interest in Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, or anybody else on their team. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.